Welcome to a new lecture in the RICS APC Essentials course. In this lecture, we're going to be tackling data management. It's a mandatory area of competence up to level 1, which is knowing, and in order to cope with the current time and age of data analytics and artificial intelligence, we're going to be digging deeper into how we can take our understanding of this area up a notch to level 2, which is doing. And the agenda for this lecture is going to be as follows. We're going to be covering the general data protection regulations. We're going to be showcasing the rights of the individuals under the GDPR. We're going to also discuss some further considerations that QS should be aware of during their day-to-day tasks when dealing with data. In the second half of the lecture itself, we're going to be exploring how we can take our understanding of this area to level 2, which is doing, by showcasing what is meant by the digital intelligence realm, as well as shedding some light on the roles within the data world, exploring what a data analyst, a business intelligence analyst, a data scientist, a data engineer, and a data administrator would do, as well as understanding the data lifecycle as explained by the UK Data Quality Framework. And lastly, we're going to be giving some sort of proposed learning journey for construction professionals and specifically QSs if they want to upskill themselves in order to cope with the current requirements of the job market in the data analytics realm. There are 6 main rights to the individuals provided under the GDPR. First one is the data access. Every person should have an easy access to the personal information whenever they require, and as stipulated by the law in the country of practice. The second right is the right to object. The end user, they have to have the option to object the processing of the personal data. And there is a good example about this. The website for any company nowadays, it gives you the option to enable or disable the third-party cookies and choose with some degree of freedom which companies to enable and which companies to disable the third-party cookies for. The third main right is the data rectification. Normally, the data needs to be updated every now and then. This right gives the individual the option of rectifying and updating any inaccurate information. This could be a change in the marital status, change in the age, or any sort of medical information. The fourth right is restriction of processing. Every individual should have the right to say or to object the processing of the data unless it's required by law. The data portability gives the individual the right to get their data in a portable and readable format. And a very good example about this is if you want to get your payslip, the organization should make it easy to export that payslip in a PDF format or a Microsoft Word format and the likes. And the last right is the right to erasure. An individual should have the right to say that they do not want their data to be stored by a specific company anymore. All of the rights that we have discussed, they should be practiced as stipulated by law and they shouldn't be abused. Having understood some ideas about what we can perform if we have the proper understanding of data analytics, it's now time to understand who can perform what and what are the different roles in the data analytics world. So the main roles that we're going to be covering in this lecture are as follows: data analysts, data scientists, data engineers, business intelligence analysts, and database administrator. And for each and every single role, there are some responsibilities as well as some required knowledge. The data analysts and the business intelligence analysts, they do have a fair bit of overlapping in the roles, responsibilities, and the knowledge. They have to have an understanding of databases such as SQL or even databases in Excel. They use Excel and Power BI extensively as well as SQL. They could have a decent understanding of coding in order to do automatic cleansing of big data. Data analysts and business intelligence analysts, they deal with a fair bit of work related to descriptive analytics about what happened in the past and diagnostic analytics, why it did happen. When it comes to predictive analytics or prescriptive analytics, it's now time to speak with the data scientists. Data scientists, they deal with coding languages and they're trying to build models in order to predict what can happen in the future based on the past performance. The data engineers, they are responsible for the extract, transform, and load processes. They deal with messy data and they try to transform it into structured data into databases. The databases can then be sat into data lakes on the cloud or on premises. Data analysts, they speak with data engineers to get the data from them, and also data scientists, they speak with data engineers to get the relevant data from them. A database administrator is a person who maintains and manages databases. They could have the slightest knowledge about how a database works, but they should have a fair bit of knowledge about data compliance and how to deal with databases on the cloud. And this is all for this video, which is meant to be an extended trailer or a teaser. And if you want to have full access to the full length, the recorded videos, the notes, the presentations, and the question answer banks, do not hesitate to get enrolled on the APC Essentials course on the APC Mastery Path web portal, and you can make the best use of a coupon code which is APC35 for a 35% discount. All the best in your APC journey. Thanks a lot for watching, and catch you in the next video.